One cannot be a follower of Christ, a disciple, on their own. As people become increasingly isolated, the future priest must be a man who unites and is a shepherd for his people.
El programa de Cor Cristo antes del seminario es 1 año o 2 años de preparación de espiritual y humano, que es ayuda a hombres de vivir en comunidad sin todas las tentaciones del mundo actual, por ejemplo, teléfonos y computadoras y internet. Todo esto son llenos de distracciones.
A number of young men, though of quality, come from a culture that is increasingly secular, if not downright hostile to matters of faith and religion and God.
A lot of people are growing up without having a solid understanding of what the church actually believes. How does Christ affect my decisions each day? How does the fact of Christ's resurrection change my life? Being able to explain that for himself and understand it, that's a difficult question for any Christian. And it's the question, though, for a young man who's asking, is God calling me to be a priest?
The seminary training has to address perhaps what's lacking in their formation. It's not to take from the desire of these men who are saying yes to the Lord, but in many ways, those initial steps, those foundational aspects of being raised a Catholic are absent. And so we, as we are preparing these men, have to make sure we fill in what I would call gaps. We are blessed in the church today to have the efforts of St. John Paul II. A lot of the confusion and the questions and the uncertainty that characterized formation in the 70s has really been corrected over the years.
In 2016, the Holy Father released the new document calling for the propedeutic phase to be added to seminary formation. Propedeutic means introductory or preparatory. It consists of a time between 1 to 2 years out of the culture to give them some initial training in prayer, understanding the catechism, understanding scripture, understanding the doctrine of the church, and understanding themselves.
Propedeutic really has to do with this idea of preparing properly for the men to enter into seminary. It's a new phase in the formation of our seminarians that's going to help us have healthier, holier priests. And at Bishop White, we have named it Cor Christi.
Cor Christi, it means, the heart of Christ in Latin. It's a beautiful title, and it really speaks to an important reality that I think seminarians and pre-seminarians really need, and that's to live in the heart of Christ, to take that time away from the world, that time for silence, that time for intentionality of discernment.
Cor Christi significa el corazón de Cristo en latín. Este viene del profeta Jeremías cuando dice que yo voy a darle a pastores según mi propio corazón. Y esta promesa fue cumplido en Cristo.
My pastor at the time, Father Cleveland, he really modeled the life of a priest well, and his dedication to his parishioners and his dedication to young people in particular. And just through conversations with him and watching him, I was really drawn to the priestly character, to the priestly life.
Mi papá cada noche cuando crecía, todas las noches como a las 9 de la noche, estaba a un lado de su cama con su Biblia de rodillas leyendo todas las noches, y ese ejemplo para mí era muy importante porque ver a mi papá haciendo eso me llenaba de ganas de ser eso.
It is a culture shock, setting aside the life you had before to come and really give yourself to the time here. And so I think that propedeutic phase will be really helpful in giving guys that time to really get used to life in community.
Cuando estábamos presentes ahí en la misa, en la adoración, siempre sentía algo diferente. Era la presencia de Dios.
You need to learn how to be a very good Christian man first, and that's just essential to the life of a seminarian and to the life of a priest.
Lo que el mundo dice que es un hombre es falso. El machismo, que tienen que servirme a mí. Si yo hago mucho dinero, me van a venir a servir. Pero un hombre que está unido al corazón de Cristo es un servidor. Es el que él va a buscar al más solito, al que no tiene a nadie. Y quiere ser un papá para ellos.
To put yourself forward as a man who might be called to be a priest and to respond to that call takes a lot of courage, especially when the world says that this is a terrible idea. It's not very attractive because it's a scandal. And these young men say, I want to be a part of the solution. They know that they're not the world's best men. They know that they're just themselves, but they're hopeful.
we're human before anything else. You have to attend to things like exercise and having a sense of humor. Those are the ways in which, as a future priest, where you'll reach people.
They go out and play sports, they hang out with each other and with other people on campus, and they're asking good questions.
You really just get to focus on these things the world doesn't even take into consideration. Daily prayer, regular exercise, fasting from social media.
Creo que mis talentos y mis habilidades van a ser de mucha ayuda para la comunidad hispana, especialmente para celebrar la misa, pero también para acercarlos más a Dios y creo que simplemente el deseo de ellos de tener a alguien que los entienda más y que los pueda comprender me inspira más a ser sacerdote.
Good priests give of themselves, and we want to prepare our men for that, to say it's not going to be easy, but God will give you what you lack. The heart of Christ is really the essential theme of this program. You can't give what you don't have. So if your heart is with Christ, then you're able to be a true shepherd.
Really, all we do has to come from our relationship with Christ, and it has to be integrated into our person. As you participate in the life of the community, and as you engage in formation and spiritual direction, you start doing things as being led by the Father, coming into your sonship, which in turn will make you an effective father when that time comes.
This is not a novitiate. On the other hand, it's not solely an intellectual year. It is a year of training, led by and mentored by priests who are known for their holiness and also for their fraternal care.
Currently, we have 9 dioceses and archdioceses in the West that send men to Bishop White's seminary. Those range from Fairbanks down to Orange County on the West Coast. And our goal is to be able to support their future priests in this program.
All bishops are going to have to respond to what the Holy Father is asking for, and Bishop White is taking that step right now to be the natural place for the diocese and archdiocese to send their men.
One of the key elements of the propedeutic year is it be separate.
It has to be something that's connected to the seminary, yet separate, which means Bishop White has had to purchase a new building for this and to begin to plan a whole new program to accommodate this phase.
The contents of the program that we have already at Bishop White will be modified to be used as the bones of that program at Cor Christi.
We are the only college program that has it. I think we're unique because we have a university attached, and it is a building that is less than a block away.
El edificio es grande, 16,000 pies cuadrados, y fue construido en 1950. Entonces es una unidad de su forma de construcción es en muchas maneras muy bueno, pero también tiene otras cosas que necesitan ser remodelados. Los baños, también la cocina y la capilla, todos necesitan ayuda. También tienen materiales que necesitamos limpiar. The total campaign goal is $3.6 million. First, the purchase of the building itself was $1.4 million. We're told that the renovations will cost $100 a square foot. That's $1.6 million. And then there's program development costs, which are going to take a great deal of time and energy working with vocation directors who will be sending men here to make sure that our program is adequate and it's going to be what the bishops will want to send their men here. Es importante que cada uno de nosotros, cada persona en la iglesia, ayuda en la misión de la iglesia. Es al corazón de esta misión.
We're looking not only to those within the Diocese of Spokane, but to these other dioceses that are sending their men here.
Los sacerdotes proveen los sacramentos y si quieren que los sacramentos sigan en la iglesia y en el mundo, es esencial que tenemos sacerdotes. Y los sacerdotes no vienen del aire. Tenemos que ayudarles prácticamente. Oraciones, sí, pero también participación, si puede ayudar con una donación a esta campaña para el futuro de la iglesia.